So I'm going to show a hip hinge at a bench. At home, this could be a coffee table or a chair. Really, I just want something that I can get my knees close to with my toes underneath a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice this hip hinging motion. This tends to be really tricky for people who maybe have a history of back pain or spend a lot of time on a bike, sitting in a desk chair, but we're getting the hips behind us without rounding the back or overdoing it with the knees. And so often when I teach this to people, their first attempt kind of looks something like this. And so being at a bench, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand about an inch to a half inch away, closer than you think. So my feet are underneath the bench there, and then I'm going to kind of get a neutral core position, and I'm going to send my hips back without hitting my knees or my hands to the bench. So if my hands hit the bench, boom, that means my weight is going forward, and I'm going to load into my back here. So hands behind the bench. If my knees hit the bench, that means I'm using more of my knees. Not inherently bad. That's more of a squat, quad dominant pattern, which a lot of times is easier for people. So I'm just going to practice this here. What I should feel in this position is a little stretch in the hamstrings. And that's kind of when I know I've gone far enough is I can't go any further without rounding my back. So I want to feel how much hip motion can I get. My weight's coming on my heels. I can wiggle my toes here. As kind of one other point of reference, you grab a broomstick or PVC, and I'm going to stand and have this touch me at my head, shoulder blades, and at my sacrum here. And then I'm going to do the same movement, and that PVC stays right along all three of those points of contact, and I'm not hitting my knees here. So that's how I know I'm getting into a really good hip hinge. I should feel that stretch here, coming up, squeezing through the glutes. So that's a hip hinge at a bench.